white is the color of a crane. You know, this crane. Stop. What is it? All sometimes we can see in chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is H-A-R-E-K-R-S-N-A. But Krishna's holy name is something quite different from the letters of our alphabet. He is the non-material personality of Godhead. So what does a conditioned soul chant? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada had one mind in this answer. An ordinary conditioned soul chants the Akshara Nama, the external syllables, not yet the real name. But while trying to chant, if we turn to Krishna in a mood of seva, the Lord, out of His mercy, might reveal Himself. It's like a kind father who's pleased by your attempt. So we have this classic story that's given by Prabhupada of the child learning to walk. He tries to walk, falls down, gets up again, tries again, until one day he learns. If you have children or you've worked with children, we've seen this. It's every moment, movement is a struggle. Sometimes the struggle results in tears, sometimes even with a laughter. But at one moment, that sort of intensity to try to achieve, that intensity to try to serve through chanting has its results. So we get it. We may not be able to realize Krishna through our imperfect senses, but because Srila Prabhupada has given also this method of trying for us to chant and focused in on this mode to chant attentively, when we make that endeavor, then it makes a big difference. There are 4 active relationships with Krishna, as we know, in terms of service. So as His servant, friend, parent, and lover. And in all of these ways, it's a specific way of how we serve Krishna. And in those moments, when we think of it, we go more and more deeper in trying to serve Krishna. It could be as we see the Lord, often Lord Nrsimhadev is seen as more in a parental role. We try to serve our father, so to say. We try to serve a friend and so forth. But in each way, there is a relationship. I believe it's very hard to chant if you don't find a relationship within chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. It's also very difficult to chant if it hasn't at some point worked on some practical application. Now, don't misunderstand me. It doesn't mean that every single time that you chant or you pick up these beads, it's like, wow, amazing. Oh, we are in the conditioned, right? Or we have different things going on. But at some moments where you have chanted and you have really felt some sort of connection. Can I have a little show of hands? Has it ever happened where you've chanted and you felt a connection to Krishna? Has that? Yep. Okay, so there's some points there, like more than half. So these moments are real. It's not that they were, the high moments or whatever. These are real, and those moments are what we are trying to achieve. For those who have never had those moments, and we've been chanting because we've just, we know it's something to do with Bhakti Yoga, or it's a part, or this, then it's more philosophical understanding that we need to go into. And that is often not just that I'm speaking some words, but a little bit internally. Well, what's happening here? I was told, with the Japa, with Yajna, we spoke about, having the right physical posture, setting the mind, our intention, having our heart space in the right place for Krishna. With Sambandhana, we spoke about that there is relationship with Krishna. And now we are talking that there is seva. So this is service that we are trying to render. In our world and our lives, there are a million different things that we are trying to serve, Our family, sorry, am I too quick? Yes. Yeah. In my head, I speak very slowly, and I chant quite quickly. But actually, in reality, it's the opposite way around, apparently. Apparently, I chant quite slowly and I speak quickly. Sorry. There's just so many points to get through. And when we do, because in the afternoon we will just have 1 hour concentration on the practical applications, because that's our time in that way with Krishna. I want to make sure I get through these terms. And also time for some questions or thoughts about this. We spoke about it's hard for us. Let's speak on the other way. On the other end point, we hope that there will be the blazing inclination to serve. So when a soul attains the advanced stage of mukti or liberation and enters into Brahman, I realize I'm not speaking any slower. Sorry. Bring on. Yeah. So when he enters Brahman, so what we talk about is the impersonal effulgence emanating from the Lord. When he has reached this potency, the burning potency of seva dharma is extinguished, it says. Not a flicker of light can be perceived as the jiva tries to merge into God. After no service at all, who would serve whom? Sense of intimacy. The match burns at brilliance when a soul arrives in Goloka Vrindavan, where his natural inclinations for seva can completely manifest. No hesitation and no holding back. There, the devotees, in a possessive feeling towards their Krishna, thinks, my Krishna, he is mine. I have to care for him. In Sanskrit, this possessive feeling is called mam atva. And this burning potency of seva dharma is released. So most of us can feel that sometimes when, like I said, this example of the guru, and the guru is coming, yeah? My guru, I need to serve him, let's go, let's do this. So in this way, imagine if we also had this for the service. It's my Japa time. I need to serve the holy name. I need to, really see what's happening here. Not in a false way, but sometimes a little bit at the beginning. I think we do have to fake it a little bit to make it. Huh? Like, okay, what is it if I say, okay, now it's my Japa time. Great. Huh? Like, go on, let's try. Let's try it in this way. When I do this Japa workshop, I immediately want to start chanting or beginning, but we don't. Instead, I will jump to the board. And we will speak on this as a summary. I don't know if you have to turn your camera or you just leave it as it is, as you like. So service, chanting, with the intention to serve Lord Krishna. I try not to move too much around. I'm sorry. Just keep you awake. Okay. Any points that we've understood from chanting as service? What was the first thing? The holy name.
The Mahamantra is Radha Krishna in form of sound. It's an affirmation from Mahatma Prabhu.
The points from from what you spoke about, that's what we're saying. That the holy name is our service. Oh, it's there already. It means that it's an offering to Krishna.
That Seva Nama is also like Krishna Seva.
Krishna Seva.
Yeah.
Krishna Seva. Say it again.
Because you say that it's like
It's okay.
serving Nama, like the name, is not different from serving Krishna himself.
Lila Dasi. From Croatia, yeah. So the holy name is not it is he. So it's an offering to a person.
Alles fängt mit dem heiligen Namen an. And yeah, everything starts with the holy name, and later things like lila and form come.
The holy name cannot be uttered by the material senses, only if uttered by the material tongue. The holy name cannot be uttered by the material tongue. Uttered, spoken. Sorry. Only if the face is turned to service, Sivan Mukhi. We turn our face to devotional service and
oh good. Like, what's the word? Modern. Just hold it up. Okay, good. Okay, so it says the holy name. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service by using his tongue to chant the holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is. This is another physical factor that I forgot to say. People say, why can't I just chant like this? Like, it's in my mind. Why do we use... This is the point from CC. The tongue needs to be purified. So when we chant Hare Krishna, even if it's quietly, the tongue has that movement. It is also part of that transcendence, that vibration that we have. That's why it's very important to slightly be able to hear the chanting. It sometimes is hard, especially when you're tired, to go. But I would say when you are chanting, use it and you're speaking, not just in the mind, and not so quietly, then you are using more of your senses, which, sorry, I'm a bit of a mathematician. It also gives more senses that you're purifying in this moment too, right? So that's the point. Thank you, Subha. 7 mukhi. I sort of feel like when we hear that the material tongue cannot chant or anything, but in the same sentence, you're saying, but chant anyway. But actually what you're really saying is the material tongue, we cannot chant, but through the Maha Mantra, that's like some special potency, you know? Like sometimes you have this popping candy, sort of like a special ingredient that the mantra gives us that will purify the rest of the senses. But don't forget to eat prasadam too. Any other points? Oh, Henrik, sorry.
Yes, you gave us in the start a small affirmation when we pick up our beatbag. We can say, "Please, Krishna, let me perform devotional service to you." So you spoke about this in context of having a deeper philosophical understanding of why we chant.
Very nice, thank you. Did I miss the second point? What was the second point that you said?
It was just the context in which you said it, to have a deeper philosophical understanding, to not chant for getting the rounds done, but chanting with some,
Thank you. Anyone else? Prabhu, what's your... I just take the... move out of the screen. You're new and decided to sit very close, which unfortunately means you may get picked on. What's your view? You've not been here for a little while, so how do you think in terms of chanting as service?
Yeah, chanting is the basic of our spiritual life.
Chanting is the base of our spiritual life. Very good. And how is your chant? Do you chant regularly 16 rounds or?
Depends like which service I do.
Mm-hmm. Nice. But you're chanting because you have your bead bag on. And do you feel that the chanting is attentive?
I do feel sometimes it's like very like losing, but then I immediately grasp and...
The mantra again. You try to get the mantra.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you. I so enjoy people's honesty. Sorry, Purisaki. Thank you very much. What's your name? Lloyd. Lloyd. Okay, it should be easy for me to remember.
Chanting is serving, but also give more serving.
As chanting is service, but giving more. What do you mean giving more?
More, because when chanting we have seva, because of chanting.
Aha, so it's like double.
Yeah.
Double, huh? You're not just chanting, but you're also service. It's like a double goal
give
if you have a
more
sadhana
serving,
chart.
yeah.
Chanting. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we even got more points than my... Oh, Henrik.
Yeah, you said you said... okay, it works, no?
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds like it works.
You said a casual person chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is chanting Akshara Nam. So just the outside syllables, but by mercy, Krishna can still turn towards us.
Akshara, yeah. Aha. For those any of you were here on the Sanskrit course that was given here, let's say Akshara. I think it literally means like the, no one was here? I think it means the consonants, huh? Akshara, it literally means that's the word for like the consonants, like the B, C, these words.
Consonants.
Yeah, so it's like literally you are just chanting the letters, right? So, but even through that, Krishna is merciful, right? That you said, mercy. It can also be, the practical example is also when you do some service, and sometimes it can be a little bit tough. Like, we have this wonderful group that started, which is called Simhasena. It's for all youth people in German-based countries, Germany, Austria. And they're wonderful, like, devotees, full of energy and full of enthusiasm and full of ideas and no time to do anything and like this. And so I was just like, oh, Krishna, help. Sometimes when we're also trying to help because it's all this potency But if it goes unused, or we don't direct ourselves in what we're doing, it can often feel lost. So I prayed, and we had like a power meeting yesterday, 1.5 power meeting, which was just like, okay, boom, 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 okay, stop. Let's talk about this point, only this point, let's go through all of it. So we managed to achieve a lot in that time. And everybody, it's like, for me, I felt like I'd gone for a marathon because I was sort of facilitating. But at the end, everybody felt very happy with it. And I was just like, oh, God, I don't want to be like a sergeant major. But sometimes, it was just like, okay, very good point. Save it for the end. Later, let's go on this. And at the same time, I feel it's also the same with the Japa. You're chanting, you're like, okay, oh my goodness, but this Prabhu, for me, this Mataji's not doing so good. I have to go and meet her. What's happening? Or, okay, stop. Now is the time for Krishna. Okay, but then, I didn't eat, and maybe Murray didn't do his homework again. Okay, stop. This is the time for Krishna. So Bhagavad was like, oh, did I remember to put that on the plan? Is that, no. Now, time for Krishna. That's the service. If we could generate enough enthusiasm when we are chanting, we get these points, like our Priya Saki said, it's like double power. We're not just chanting, we're also service. We're thinking, okay, if you have a Sandha chant, double ticks. Of course, Subal Gopal may be a little nervous if you say, but, I already did service today. He was chanting, we also have to render some service also in the temple as we stay here. But essentially, there are some people out there who can live an isolated life, who spend the whole day chanting because they've understood this fundamental point of the deepness of chanting. So it is the same and non-different. Now on this, we had this idea. Oh, will I attack the whole thing? It's nice to keep it up because you were a very, very good audience today in that you had so many points that you remembered and also points that you added, and also it's very good in terms of going through these points quickly to get it fixed in the mind. Okay, what does it mean? Yeah, like this. Just this. For me, it's like, okay, chanting means this. Okay, Krishna is non-different from Radha Krishna, just in the form of sound. Okay, let's go. I think it is Mahatma Prabhu meditation cards that you gave me. It's wonderful. They're wonderful cards that for those who need a little bit of an incentive beforehand, and it goes quickly. You just take one card at random. You read that card because they're all associated with the holy name, and then begin to chant. It's like this whole way. Sometimes our life is a little bit of preparation. Experimenting is very good in that way, that you see what's helping me now. Sometimes if I'm not chanting in a temple room, I will most often put Prabhupada Japa, the one with flute. The one which is the group is a little too hectic for me, so there's one which is a bit more, has some sort of softer music with Prabhupada clearly chanting, and that helps me. Sometimes people may put a neutral sound on, or some other sort of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There's also a YouTube video of different gurus chanting. This helps. It may be that you need silence to chant because this helps you to concentrate. But many people find it's very, very useful to have maybe in the zip of their bead bag, somewhere handy, just some quotes, like on a bit of paper, maybe laminated so it lasts a long time. With some sort of mantra, we will go through the mantras later in the afternoon, that can help just to bring the mind back in. Could be an affirmation, could be something else. It's just like a point of focus. When we are focused on whatever we do, then we can achieve much more. So like I said with the meeting, I had to focus, and it was intense. Sometimes it can be. When we are chanting with a focus and with attention, it is peaceful, but somehow can be tiring in one sense, because we are really zooming in on what's important to us. Bjorn, I failed miserably in speaking slowly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you still kept translating, so thank you very, very much on this. Are there any questions, thoughts, reflections, worries on this theme? Very important to think of it before this evening. In the evening time at 5 o'clock, where we will naturally all be a bit slower, we will just have maybe 1 or 2 points in, but we will go straight into the exercises, because life is meant to be lived in practice. This life of Krishna consciousness or consciousness doesn't work if we are eyes open but asleep on the inside, right? So this is the point then too. If these words cannot be put into practice, then they fall by the wayside. So let us try to see if it works together. Bjorn, any questions?
I have a question, yeah.
Yeah. Will it listen to the just online, then you just have a blank.
I had very much trouble to translate, so if you could explain this again without me translating then, so I can understand the point that we are chanting, but Krishna is not present. I think it's in the right bottom corner.
This Aksharanam, you mean, or some other point?
Yeah, the whole principle I did not understand.
Of Krishna, we're chanting, but Krishna's not hearing us. It's more the other way around, that we're chanting without attention or focus. So then, say, now you're speaking to me, and I only look towards Nitai Priya. So I'm speaking to you, Bjorn, and I'm speaking about this point of, maybe it's okay in this lecture, but if I'm generally speaking to you, but I'm looking over here, it's a little bit off-putting. Because I'm like saying, Bjorn, what's going on or how is it happening? And you're like, it's the same with Krishna in one sense. He's listening, but who are you speaking to? It's also, in one sense, it's not very respectful. If I'm I'm talking to you, but I'm looking over here, or worse than that with our Japa, unfortunately, it's more like, oh my God, what did you say again? I don't know, what was happening? Like, I'm Bjorn, what? Yeah, I was listening. I was the whole time. Got your point completely. It's like that. So like Krishna's like, what? What did you try to tell me even? You wanted to serve me? I just heard about what you wanted to eat. Because Krishna hears not just what we say, right? He hears what's in our heart. Sorry, the microphone also. And also what's in our mind. So it's like a whole. Have you ever had a phone call where you have interference? 2 ways in. It feels like this is the dialogue sometimes, right? When we're talking to Krishna through our Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the point, just like jarred in. And with that, if it's not clear on the inside that this is my intention to serve, then what's happening? If I say to Subal Gopal, okay, put me down on your service plan, I will come here at 10 o'clock and I will wash the pots. And he says, okay, thank you very much, Mataji. Then it's clear for him. If at 10 o'clock I don't turn up, or if I say, actually it's more like me saying, okay, so sort of quite, I told I had to serve and I should come to you. And you're like, sorry, Mataji, what did you say? There's something, service, yeah. Can you come maybe, very politely, can you come maybe at 10? If I could come at 10, but maybe 11 would be better, or 12, or maybe not at all, or, it's a whole, it's a lost in translation, what do we want? Yeah, he's not thinking, he's maybe not convinced that I want to serve. Maybe he has no other choice, Krishna has a choice, right? So in that way, when we are turning to Krishna and saying, Hare Krishna, as opposed to, what the, it's a whole different vibration of what's happening. If I was to now give lecture and the whole time I'm just looking here or looking on my phone, and occasionally I look up, right? You wouldn't have got this many points, hopefully. Of course, one can always be better. But still, it's like everything that we do in our interaction when we are also serving will affect our entire life. This is the essence of consciousness. And this is the reason that we speak about japa. For most people who are in the temple, we're quite happy to do some service. So we're quite happy, okay, let me try, this way or the other. Sometimes we have issues with it, but this japa, this japa is really like some albatross, they say, finger crossed. So that's why we're trying to get away with this, because it just feels that me, you, all of us, we've just somehow got some collective consciousness together that there's something wrong with the japa sometimes, you know? It just drags with us. So now we're trying to clear that space. Huh? We clear that space and say, actually, it's wonderful. Lloyd said here, this is the essence of what we do, right? We've understood that point, but have we got that in practice? If we have that in practice, it will, these points that transfer through when we begin to chant, it will be a clear message then to the Lord. Please let me serve you, dear Krishna. Huh? That is the literal, translation. Oh Radha, oh Krishna, please let me serve you. And then we will accept whatever service comes up after. Yeah. We used to make a joke in the ashram, like when lots of service came up, it was like, oh, you must have chanted very good rounds today. But in the, when you do chant nice rounds, the rest of the day does seem to go a little bit more of a kick, because okay, I gave it a good go. So the last plump before everyone rushes to purify their tongues with prasada is, we thought next Wednesday, we try Twadashi, after Ekadashi, where you can eat whatever you like. So on the Wednesday, we would try for our 64-round day. I will put a poll in to see who we can. The idea was it's the middle of the week, so not so many, but according to who wants to do it, we try to see if Subal Gopal can, help in terms of service. But I didn't want to advertise that, because we don't want people to say I don't do service and they don't chant 64 rounds either. So yeah, we will then, the aim would be that we would chant very early. We would begin then, not so early, after Mangalati, we begin, and then carry on through. If it's okay, maybe I have to ask someone for permission also during Japa time, because it's an extra round of chanting, that we continue on, as much as we can. And the whole day that we chant. So it's a bit of a tapasya, but Kartik already ends on Friday, I think, next week. So, we said we'd like to do this sort of during the Kartik time. For those of you who feel not comfortable with 64, one can aim for 63, one can aim for like 48 or 20 or 17. It can be like this, but we try. I have children, we have different things going on, I don't know, but it's very, I don't want to use the word purifying because it's used in the wrong way, but often afterwards there is a nice feeling of peace. And in those rounds, we have more and more chance to meet Krishna. That's the point that we go. It's not really of the number, but just that day of chanting. So if one way or other, we try. It will not be that everybody you all want to do it, but for those who would like, we try together. So Baluk says, no, Mataji, no. Good. Okay, nice. Huh? Nice to have a brahmachari's temple commander right now. Yes, let's go for it. Yeah. Bjorn, a question, please. Use the microphone.
So this turning one's face towards Krishna is kind of giving the attention to the Mahamantra by hearing, but with an intention.
Yes, sorry. So Savan Mukha literally means service, turning one's face to the Lord. Huh? So you're serving your face. So when we are chanting, one can also see we are turning our face towards the holy name. So subtly what we're talking about in that moment is the intention to be focused just on the holy name. Just now, I look only at the Lord. Just now, only the holy name. That's the point. It's sort of subtle, because we could be sitting and doing the same thing, attentively or inattentively. But that subtlety of turning there, it's internal, that space. I read somehow later when I heard this, because I thought it was so beautiful, I read somewhere in a purport by Srila Prabhupada in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that at one moment when we do this, also the Lord turns his face towards us. And just by that simple glance, everything changes. So this was not in the same paragraph, but I thought it was also very beautiful. We turn to him, then he also looks over to us. today. Question or just came? I mean, you had a yeah. No, okay, sorry, she just came in at the end. Sometimes you have a question. Okay, so it's a good time to end. Please, you're all invited for 5 o'clock today for 1 hour for the Japa workshop, practical side. So please come if you can. Hare Krishna. Mahamantra ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Somebody knows what to do with this microphone.